Uh, Sure, this time we are live. Sorry, guys, if you were there, I'm not ignoring you. I had a problem yesterday, a big technical one, where I did the whole show and then discovered I wasn't live. So I'm making sure, and I thought I'd do something silly, like actually get my screen up and all those wonderful things. So we are here. So welcome to my weekly wellness discovery show. Really the best way for you to enjoy a nice long lasting life where you look good, feel good, and get to do all sorts of fun things because of that is by being educated on just natural ways to being healthier. So today we're going to have a look at the powerful link between your mitochondria and your heart health. Plus, we're going to go over 5 simple ways that you can boost your energy, and that's going to help to support your heart as well. Now, I think I'm going to use this because that's how it works better. Sorry. Okay. If you're in my wellness center, you will have already seen these articles, 5 effective ways to supercharge your mitochondria. And of course, that in turn charges your heart. If you're not in there, I highly recommend that you create yourself a free account. It's pretty easy. You just put your name and email address and voila, you're done. And in there, there's all sorts of information that's packed in there. There's recipes, there's interviews with experts, there's all the past webinars, plus the one that's coming up, and there's more. Anyway, it's one of those things where take what you like and leave the rest because it is not a one size fits all. There's things in there that I don't do, but you know what? It works for other people. So it's good information. It's in there. So again, take what you like, leave the rest. Okay. And at the end of today, I'm going to put the link to that and a few other things that I'll mention shortly, and you can check that out. So a little bit about me, why I got into this, what inspired me was, well, a long time ago, I was bit by a tick back in 1997, and I discovered the wonderful world of Lyme. I don't know if you know this little guy. His name is Lyme. He's becoming very famous, and he basically represents an awful lot to do with Lyme. The biggest message that he carries is that education is key. And Lyme was my educator. I learned a lot of things through it. I share that with others. And of course, I've been through some other things too that I've learned along the way. So now, in all the different challenges that I've had to go through, I've learned a lot of things. And so what I like doing now is taking all of that information and rolling it forward to you in an easier, simpler way so that you as well can improve your health just by learning the different ways that you can live in harmony with nature. And my job is to show you how to do that. That gives you the power to enjoy your life. So thanks for being here today. Just the fact that you're here says a lot. Now, last week we went over some interesting news that's been coming out about omega-3s. The media's really kind of blown an article up to make it look like omega-3s were actually dangerous for you and maybe best not to take them. But as you recall, nobody ever got that notification from the American Heart and Stroke Foundation, American Heart Association. Sorry, that's the word I'm trying to say. And I would think they would know the best. But when we did the research, we did find out that it's only when you take 4 grams or more daily that you could have a problem. And that only makes sense, right? Everything in the right amount is good. Now, if you're not sure how much you should take, you can always follow the label, but the best thing you can do is just go get a simple test done. It'll tell you exactly how much that you need for optimal heart health. I'll be doing the same thing the end of next month. Now, there's more about that in my wellness center, the one that you're going to subscribe for when I pop the link up above, because there is all this great stuff in here. You want to know more about that particular article, the details in it. And there's other stuff you want to check out too. We'll get to that in a minute. But here's an interesting little piece of trivia. A lot of people don't know this. I've never really thought about this until, we started putting this together. But did you know that your heart beats over 100,000 times a day? And that is a lot of work. I mean, if you had to do an arm curl 100,000 times a day, how would you feel, right? But here's the question. Where does it get the energy to keep going? So let's start with the big picture here. Now, we know that your heart, our heart, is one of the most energy demanding organs that we have in our body. But guess what? That energy comes from something called our mitochondria. And you're saying, mito what? Okay, here's where it gets interesting. When your mitochondria, which is basically a fancy way of saying your cellular health, isn't working efficiently, maybe you have damaged DNA, you've got weak cells, it leads to what Dr. Casey Means calls the trifecta of dysfunction. Now, these are three things that put together are a recipe for disaster. If you have high blood pressure, okay, that alone, your heart has to work a lot harder because your blood vessels are stiffer, they're more inflamed, and they're not going to help as much as they should be. You add into that, or maybe just even by itself, high blood sugar, you're going to have poor energy production because it contributes to insulin resistance. And then there's, the good old high cholesterol. That's damaged mitochondria. It creates oxidative stress, and that triggers a plaque buildup. So one or all three of these things put together, well, let's just get to the chase. Can you imagine if you put all three of them together? That's why we call it the trifecta of dysfunction. And this is a really good picture of it. It just kind of puts it all into perspective, just in a simple form. Now, what that means is that you end up with more fatigue. There's an increased risk of heart disease, poor metabolic health, and that's not really great, is it? Now, Dr. Brose, he did actually have a look at the powerful link between our mitochondria and our overall health in the last Vitality for Life show, how good energy leads to healthier weight. By the way, that is in the Wellness Center if you want to catch up on that. But there's a video showing the surprising link between metabolism and healthy weight. And you can check that out. Again, that's in my resource center. There's a lot of stuff in there, guys, I'm telling you. So how can you support your heart and keep your energy strong? This is the good part. You don't need to go into those, extreme boot camp diets or, the real complicated health plans. Really just in making a few changes, or as the slide says, a few tweaks to your daily habits, you can make a big difference on your heart at a cellular level. Now, there's 5 simple ways that you can supercharge your mitochondria. I did say we were going to do this, right? One is moving more. Nobody likes to hear that, but it's the truth. It's very important for the body to move. It was not meant to sit around being a sedentary thing like a rock. Okay. Also, we want to be mindful of what we're feeding our body. So we want to eat smart. It only stands to reason if you're, inputting nothing but junk, you're going to get junk results on your blood work test, right? Okay, and rest is important. I know it's getting harder and harder to catch that, at night or whenever it is you do sleep, but do try to make it a priority. And we do know toxins make a difference. So if there are little things you can do around your house to eliminate your toxins, like maybe you have toxic household cleaners, swap them out for some green products. That right alone there is a big difference. Also, supplements are never a bad idea. We do know that even if you are eating well, our food industry is just not providing the nutrients that it should be. And this is why we supplement, is to make up for what we don't get in our food. Okay, so to break it down a little bit more, reasons we want to move more, well, we all know exercise is one of the best ways to, increase your mitochondrial function. There's different ways you can do that. Some people like doing the HIIT workouts. They're just, especially if you're on a time constraint, there's short bursts of, it's an intense, quick, short workout. Could be sprinting, could be cycling. I've never done one. Maybe some of you experts can jump in and let me know what works best for you when it comes to those. I do like strength training, and I do more stamina training than anything because lifting weights does help to build new mitochondria. And I'm not interested in being a bulky Mrs. Schwarzenegger kind of build, but I do like working with weights. They're just nice little light ones, 3 pounds, 5 pounds, do lots of reps, do them off and on throughout the day. Daily movement, I know that a lot of jobs are very sedentary these days. Do your best to somehow get at least 7,000 steps in a day. There's lots of little sneaky things that I do. I'm taking a course these days that has my butt planted more than I like it to be. So when I'm doing things like, washing and drying dishes, I will take one fork, dry it, go put it away, go back, pick up one fork, dry it, go put it away. Laundry, fold one thing, go put it away, come back, fold one thing, put it away. It just helps me to get more steps in. If I do get out, I park at the far end of the parking lot just because. So there's lots you can do. You want a minimum of 7,000 steps a day. My goal is 10, and that's just me. But if you're just starting out, find out how many steps you are doing and try to make a habit of increasing that by 100 steps a day. If that's too much, hey, make it 10 steps a day. But find a nice, gentle way to get yourself moving. That's very important. Cold exposure. Now, this one I don't do. I'm sorry. I've suffered enough in my life. I am not doing this to myself, but I do hear great things about this. See, I told you things I don't do, but other people do. And I love what they're telling me. Just having a quick, brief cold shower or jumping into an ice cold lake for a second, it definitely does stimulate the mitochondria. I have seen some of the research to support it. I just can't get this part around it to actually do it. But that's all right. You know what? I do a couple of things, and 2 out of 4 isn't so bad. Plus, I do other things you don't know about. Maybe one day I'll tell you. Okay, eating smart. All right, that's kind of a no-brainer, but I want to get into a little bit more as to what that means when we say eating smart. We want to fuel our cellular health. That's a fancy way, mitochondria is a fancy way of saying that, with nutrient-dense foods. Anti-inflammatory foods are the best ones, especially if you have arthritis or, any sort of, inflammatory thing, cancer, Lyme, things like that. Healthy fats, omega-3s, the good ones, from salmon, walnuts, flax seeds. You can throw flax seeds straight into your smoothie if you want. Walnuts, I like throwing that into my yogurt with some blueberries, mix a little protein powder in. Hey, there's my meal. Polyphenols, those are fabulous. You can get that from my favorite source is green tea, but I also love berries. So if you like that, that's great. And for those of you who like chocolate, teach yourself to enjoy the dark chocolate because there are benefits to it. And that way it's kind of like having your cake and eating it too. You want at least 72% dark. Aim for darker, the better. Okay, other key nutrients when we mention supplementing, magnesium is a big one, especially if you're noticing you're getting Charlie horses, cramps, that first thing in the morning stretch, and all of a sudden, wham, it just really hits you. That's a good sign of it. CoQ10 is great. It's also good for the skin, ladies, just so you know. And B vitamins, they're wonderful for energy production. I'm not going to go into all the other benefits because I'm trying to keep the show shorter. Okay, rest. All right, we know sleeping is important, but here's why. It's critical for, again, this is our opportunity for our cellular health to start repairing itself. It does the most of that when we're sleeping. No, melatonin is fabulous for that. It's a mitochondrial antioxidant. There's many schools of thought on that, but I will tell you an experience that I went through. When I went to a alternative cancer clinic, it was called Oasis of Hope. One of the things that they did was they put all of the patients on 30 milligrams of melatonin every night. Now, the first few days I was very groggy, but when I did the research, I started to understand why. And so now I still do 10 to 20. But you want to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every night if you can. If you can't do that, at least try to get a little nap in the day. Okay, the toxins, our cellular health just really doesn't like anything that's toxic. So try to stay away from those fast food places. I know they're tasty, they're quick, they're convenient, it's easy, but they're just not doing you any favors at all. Refined sugars is definitely an enemy for you. If you don't like inflammation, then you're not a friend of sugar either. Okay. Also, excessive alcohol can be a big source of sugar and toxins. So try to limit that. Not saying don't ever drink, but be mindful of how much you do. Okay, also, again, over the fast foods, you want to choose nice nutrient-dense foods that actually support cellular health. All right, supplements, again, they're very helpful for our cellular health. There's resveratrol and PQQ. They both support mitochondrial growth. Lodelia and ginseng, they fight fatigue and they boost your ATP production. And then there's the good old cordyceps mushrooms. Now, I know mushrooms are really coming into the news a lot these days, and there's many different forms and types that do many different things. The cordyceps are very good for improving your oxygen, which improves your cellular energy, and does many other things too. Okay, so now that you understand the connection between mitochondria and heart health, what's one small change you guys think you will do this week? Let me know in the comments. I'm dying to know. Are you going to add more omega-3? Are you going to do some strength training? Maybe get some more steps in, or, change your eating a little bit? Let me know in the comments what your plan is. I'd love to know. This would be great. And we can support each other with this too. Now, if you want to get more into this topic, we have a show coming up next week on Wednesday. It's Reclaiming Your Heart Health that's on February 19th, next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I've actually created an event for you on the Danny Cade Wellness page, so you can register there if that's easier. Because in there, we're going to break it all down. We're going to get into some questions and answer sessions, probably break a few myths, and share some very easy to do practical ways that you can protect your heart for the long run. Okay, and it's called Reclaiming Your Heart Health. I'm going to put the link up above for you, and that's another way that you can register as well if you don't see that as an event on my page. And this is important. I mean, heart transplants, yes, you can get them, but I don't think you really want to go through that. And your heart, it really does work very hard for you. So let's try to help it in return. So grab your spot. Now, I realize you may not be able to make it. That's okay. Reserve it anyways, because that way, as soon as the replay comes out, you're going to get that in your inbox, and then you can kick back and enjoy that with your favorite cup. You like my great big, it's like a bowl with a handle, really, but I love that thing. So you can relax with your favorite cup and enjoy the show. So again, I'm going to have the link up above for you. You can check that out. It's also in my wellness center, and it's also on my Danny Cade Wellness page. So a quick recap of everything we covered today. Yeah, we explored the link between our mitochondria and our heart health, why it's important to optimize our cellular energy, because it does improve blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. I also shared 5 very easy to do science-backed things that are going to help to strengthen your mitochondria, give you more energy, and again, support a healthier heart. So you can learn more about that in my wellness center. Again, there's the articles, the 5 nutrient-based solutions for heart health, the little known lab test that measures heart health. And also there's a nice heart health buyer's guide. And no, it's not a shopping catalog for buying a new heart. You don't get the easy way. Okay, if you would like to, you're more than welcome to book me for a one-on-one strategy session. I am here to help support your health in any way that I can. Maybe heart health is something that's very important to you. Maybe you've had a scare. Maybe you just want to learn some simple things you can do that will, help to improve that. I'd love to work with you to, figure out what's going to be a good strategy for you. I don't run a boot camp. I'm not a high pressure anything. I guess the bottom line is do you want to feel better? And if you do, and you've run out of other opportunities and think there's just maybe I might be able to give you a hand, I would love to try. So leave me a comment, or better yet, you can text the word heart below if you would like some help with that, and I'll reach out to you. Or you can just direct message me if you'd like. If that's easier, not a problem. So together, definitely, there's many things that we can do to get a healthier heart, and I would love to help you with that. Now, if you haven't already, I hope you join my wellness community on Facebook. There's new people joining there every day. We're posting more and more information on this subject lately, especially being February, Heart Month, as you can tell from the little moving hearts behind me. And I do want you to register for the upcoming wellness webcast. You know, I'm not asking you to be there if you can't, but at least you have the information. Knowledge is power. Okay, so I'm going to post links for everything that I mentioned today after the show and even more links. You can check those out. And again, feel free to message me for anything that you might want to know more about. Maybe it's a link that I posted. Maybe it was something I posted. Could be something I said. I don't know. I do a lot of things. But yeah, get a hold of me and let me know how I can be of help to you. I would love to. Now, next week, we're going to be going over more details about the show that's going to be on that night. So I do hope you join me next Wednesday that we can find out a little bit more about what it is you're going to be signing up for. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. I'm glad we had an opportunity to be here together today. I know Valentine's is right on us, so I hope that, you know, one way or another, you have a very good day. And I do hope you join me next Tuesday. I'm going to be doing my tea talk. Don't know what it's about yet. And then again, I will see you on Wednesday. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye for now.